I got a request asking how do I chop and dice onions. Also, another person asked me what to do with the whole thing with crying or tearing while cutting and dicing onions. It's a very good question. Honestly, I'd be lying if I have a definite answer to it. I did my own research. Basically, what I found that the whole thing with putting water in your mouth, this is an urban legend. Basically, what happens is when you breathe through your nose, the gas that the onion releases travels up your nose and it reaches your tear ducts and starts releasing the tears, and that's why you start crying. So the thing that most of the forums online and most of the people agreed on is basically don't breathe through your nose, breathe through your mouth. Even some people went to the distance of recommending putting something in your mouth while you're dicing onions just to remember to breathe from your mouth. I personally recommend stay away from the onion as much as you can when you're dicing it, and don't breathe from your nose, and try and get it over and done with as fast as possible, and this way you're going to avoid tearing. However, don't do it too fast or else you're going to injure yourself. So to the next part is how to dice the onion. Here I have a simple onion, typical red onion. What I will do is just I'm going to cut the top of it with my knife and the bottom. Notice how I hold the onion. You always keep your fingers straight. Your thumb always has to be behind your fingers, because if your thumb is in front and you're cutting, you're just going to cut your thumb off. So you don't go like this, because then the knife can cut your fingers. You keep it like this. So as you can see here, the knife is running smoothly aligned with my fingers without my fingers being in the way. So this is how basically you hold anything that you're cutting, and you just get rid of the bottom ends. What I do at this point, I just run and make a very small incision on the running along the side of the onion. And when I'm cutting, make sure you don't put your finger like this and continue running and then run over your thumb. You just put it away from the direction of where you're cutting, and you just run it don't go deep into the onion. You just want to cut one layer out, and then easily and just slowly push it up. You're gonna find that there you go. The first layer of skin just came out very easily, and you can use a little bit of your nail if you don't want to go really deep into the onion. So just get the rest of it. There we go. Voila. I'll just give it a quick rinse, just in case there's anything still from the outer skin stuck on it. Also, I'll give the dicing board a rinse and the knife. Okay. Now I'm gonna cut my onions into 2 halves, like that. I'm gonna keep this for later. I'm gonna start with this one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it horizontally, like this, not completely to the end. Very thin slices, just like that. And notice I'm using the bottom side of the knife, because this is where most of the pressure is, and it's much easier to cut with. You can also use the end, but you will not going to reach the tip of the onion from here, because you're holding the knife like that. But when you're using the knife from this side, you're going down straight. So we'll continue going this way. Okay, now I have my onion, as you can see, diced into slices. I'm going to spin it just like this, get the bigger part out, and I'm going to hold it with my thumb on one side and with my pinky on the other side, and the other fingers are just the same way I showed you about how to hold things. just like that. It's quite firm, you see? I can move it. And then I'm gonna run vertically across them, just like this. And as you can see, the first slice, it already comes out quite diced and quite nice. Make sure your thumb is always behind your rest of your fingers, because you don't want to chop your thumb off. There you go. Do it slowly, no need to rush. If you miss something just like this, go back to it and cut it like that. There you go. And if you go like this, you'll see that it's quite finely chopped. If you want it even further chopped, that's quite a simple process, and you can cheat using this process, and you just pile it into one pile like this, and you just go like this, and slowly, again, also always keeping your fingers straight, and you just push the onions in the direction of the cutting in the knife, just like that. Again. Or there's another technique which you can use, which is you hold the knife just like this and you go like this.
Molokhaya style.
Molokhaya style, yes. And you just go like this. And as you can see, the onion right now is quite diced, and if you look at me, I'm not even tearing, but I'm lucky because I did breathe through my nose a couple of times, but it's starting to get to me now. So this is one way to use to finely dice your onions. Just put those away. Okay, another way of cutting onions, if you want to have onions in a semi-ring or half-ring shape, you can just go like this, like we did in the beginning, but a little bit of bigger cuts, not very thin, and there you go. You have yourself half onion rings. There is a third way. Usually this next way you use it if you're doing Chinese food, or if you're doing shish taouk, for example. You just cut it in the same manner, but quite big, like this much big. And then basically you go like this and you peel each side, and what you get is onion wedges. Like if we're going to do, for example, Chinese sweet and sour, what I would do is usually keep the onions cut to that size, and they're very nice because when you fry them they become semi-crispy and they maintain their flavor, but at the same time they go with the rest of the recipe. And basically that's what you can do with onions.